Previously on Libel the Bible.
Scott holes up in some seedy sex offender hotel in Vegas.
Rusty holds it down in New York while dealing with some asshole cats.
David cuddles up with a beautiful, warm virgin.
Handsome Adoniah boldly claims to be the next king.
David squashes that by appointing Solomon as his heir to the throne.
Solomon lets Adoniah and his punk-ass followers go home without harming a hair on their heads.
And now, episode 93 of Libel the Bible.
Are you recording already?
And we are back.
I am Scott. I don't have any title.
Oh, man, I was sitting here waiting patiently for once.
Fucking time, too, man. It's been busy time, though. Who are you?
I'm Rusty.
What are we?
Libel the Bible.
All right, we're back.
We're back.
In the studio.
In the
A
studio.
little cold in here, but...
It's a little cold in here. I'm just going to repeat everything you say tonight.
I'm just going to repeat everything you say tonight.
Oh, man. It's going to be an interesting show.
That's what you get what you pay for, man. How you been, Russ? It's been a while again.
Yeah, it's been a while. I'm doing really well. Looking forward to recording tonight.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
You're not looking forward to recording tonight?
No, I was saying I don't really care like how you're doing.
You don't care about recording tonight? You want to pack it up? Is that what you're telling the audience?
No, you talked over me. I was talking about how I don't care how you're doing.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's
why I talk over you, because you don't care about me.
You know I do, man. So when last we were together, we were apart, man. I was in Vegas. You were here.
It was a weird show.
It was very weird. It was very low energy. It was
I had to be quiet. Like, my kid was sleeping in the room next to me.
You had some cats acting crazy.
Yeah, the cats were fucking being assholes.
It's like the, what is it, the AMSR? Or SMA?
You probably were being distracted by, like, the child rape occurring in the fucking room next door.
It wasn't next door, man.
Yeah.
That's not really a funny joke, man. That's really not funny. That's fucking funny. Like,
let's just say Scott was in Vegas at a seedy hotel for a little while.
Yeah. It wasn't seedy. It was a business hotel.
He was on the lam.
So, yeah. I was on the lam. So, yeah, I completed my work in Vegas, got back, spent a total of 22 days out there. It was nice. I got to go back in January, so we'll see how that goes. So, it wasn't all horrible.
Yeah.
Got to see the F1 race. You know, you're a fan of that stuff.
Yeah, that's
I
cool.
left with a different flavor in my mouth, concerning that.
Mm-hmm.
The cars were very impressive. The speeds were insane.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool. And I like the noise, that like that. That was cool. It applies to my simple nature.
Did you actually see a car going by?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so you saw, like, the speed and how fast?
Oh, yeah, dude. I was actually at ground level, right at where the pits are, and that first turn out of the paddock.
Yeah.
Like, I was right there. So the cars weren't going really fast at that turn.
Yeah.
But at least I got to see them real close up, like, doing that thing. So it was cool. But for the most part, I was right by the start line. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When they came out of the pit lane.
And, it's the pit lane's right next to the regular lane, so I saw the cars in the regular lane going too. But that was
It was a weird entry, too. Like, there was something off about the pit lane and how they had to enter the track.
Yeah, it was like a 90-degree turn, more than a 90-degree turn.
It was weird.
I actually thought when they were setting it up that the race was going to go in the other direction because it was an easier exit from the pit lane. But I guess that would have meant like a real slow turn into the pit lane coming the other way. So it was cool. Well, it was cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now you're back in New York. How was the weather while you were there?
I got to tell you, I got off the plane and I was like, brr, it's a little chilly.
Cold, really?
It was colder than I expected. And then when I got back to New York, I was like, holy fuck, it's cold. The second night, so it was a 3-day event, right? So they had like the practice like the first night. Then I guess
Friday is practice.
The second
Saturday is qualifying.
Okay, it was during the qualifying. It actually started raining that night. And I've been to Vegas twice in my life, and it's rained twice. Both times I was in Vegas.
Weird.
And like it never rains in Vegas.
Is it that time of year? Like for like a month or so? Like it just...
I don't know. This was a 1-day of rain. Of the 22 days I was there, it was clear all the other days. So,
well, welcome home, Scott.
Thanks, man.
You're home. We're in the studio. We're back to recording. You think I was on my way over here, and I was thinking about, is this going to be like a little more consistent now? Because like it's the holiday season. We're recording this December 6th.
Yeah.
So, the holidays are coming up. So I don't know how often we'll be able to get together to record. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. We're gonna have to squeeze some stuff. I do have a packed schedule. I mean, we got Christian Christmas coming up, Jewish Christmas coming up, Muslim Christmas coming up, Kwanzaa Christmas coming up. We got a lot of Christmases coming up. New Year's Christmas.
Oh my God, what are you fucking knocking over, bro?
I don't know. Some remote. I don't know what it goes to.
So we got a whole bunch of Christmases coming up.
Yeah. So we gotta work in some time because I gotta go over my schedule with you, like post production, when I'm going to be in Vegas again. So we have to. We can't leave people hanging like this, man.
I mean, sometimes you have to wait for, what's the saying? Good things come to those who wait.
I guess they should wait longer then because it's. But you know what? Sometimes
I feel like they're still waiting for the good part to start because I don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
The Daily Show. Trevor Noah was on it, but now he's gone.
Yeah. That was the most forgettable era of the Daily Show.
No, I liked it. All right. I actually like the.
I don't think I saw a single. I've seen clips. I don't think I watched a single episode.
You ever watch John Out last week tonight with John Oliver? Yep. I like that show.
He just got re-signed for 3 years.
And it's depressing, I think he's on Sunday nights, right? So before the work week, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to finish my weekend watching John Oliver. And then he's like on vacation or he ruptured an appendix or something. Like, it's really depressing. And I feel like we're doing that to our fans as well.
We're causing misery and pain.
It would be one thing if they weren't like getting their popcorn ready and they're like, all right, this is going to get me through another week of shit. Mm-hmm. And then we don't deliver for them. Man.
This is why you're a fan favorite, Scott. You care about the fans. Yeah. You know, you really think about them. You empathize with them. Whereas I couldn't give a fuck about anything they think or want or fucking what kind of chaw they got in their fucking mouths.
What kind of chaw?
Yeah,
what is chaw?
You know, like Southerners, they instead of cigarettes, they put they stuff their fucking pig faces with chaw. And then they spit it out into tobacco? A fucking bing.
I thought is that chew?
They call
it chaw.
It's called chaw, bro. Come on.
Is it really called chew? They just pronounce it chaw. Yeah, I don't know.
You want me to fucking enter the brain of a Southerner, Scott?
Yo, you remember Big League Chew, man?
Of course I remember that shit.
They still make it, man. You can still get it some places. Yeah, it's probably not as good as we remember.
Big League Chew. Be emulate the big leaguers by taking this fake tobacco and stuffing it in your mouth so when you grow up you can do it for real.
Yeah, it was the blow-up doll, to be the prostitute on the bus.
Man, it's society was stupid, man.
Yeah, it was.
Remember the candy cigarettes?
Yeah, it was stupid, right?
Right.
Yeah, the candy cigarettes were cool.
You could puff on it once.
Yeah. So we were setting the studio up, and Rusty decided to do a sound check, and he plays a song, and it's Taylor Swift. I'm like, Rusty, that's the song you pick. Do you know what I learned right before you came over here?
Tell me.
She's the Time person of 2023.
Bro, I found out today at work. Listen, it's not surprising why Time did that because now all the Swifties are gonna fucking buy that magazine.
Oh, you think it was just a money grab?
Oh, it was beyond sin. You think the people at Time magazine think Taylor Swift is really the person of the year?
Who was more important this year than Taylor Swift?
I don't know. Maybe the leader of Hamas or Netanyahu or fucking Putin or fucking Zelensky or fucking Mitch McConnell who fucking stroked out twice during press conferences.
George Santos.
Yo, can I say?
You can.
I am so disappointed that he was kicked out of Congress because he is comically the greatest thing to ever happen to fucking politics. Hilarious. He is hilarious.
He's the best counterpoint to Trump.
He's a complete sociopath, first of all. He is a compulsive liar, but he does it so effortlessly and in such a fanciful gay way, you know? It is chef's kiss. It is fucking fantastic.
You see he's doing that cameo thing now?
Yes.
Did you see his recording
I saw, yes.
Yeah. Made me feel good about myself.
Great.
That's great. Can I just talk about me coming home from Vegas?
Mm-hmm.
So I probably overpacked for Vegas. It was 3 weeks, and let's face it, half the times I was wearing the same jeans 3 days in a row.
Mm-hmm.
It's work,
Yeah.
So
there's no one to impress in Vegas.
Yeah, exactly right. So I had a big suitcase that I had bought off one of my coworkers. Right, he accidentally got a second, whatever. So I get this big suitcase and I overpacked it. Like on the way home, like I had to almost sit on it to zip it closed.
Sit on it. Hey.
So let me tell you something. I don't know if you know, the day I came home, I heard there was some storm activity, right? So I'm on the plane, and dude, the turbulence was like nothing I've ever experienced on a plane before.
Interesting.
Now, I'm not saying people hit their heads on the fucking roof or anything like that. It wasn't that crazy, but it was enough where everything flew off everybody's trays.
Oh, that's scary.
Like into other people's laps.
Right.
You know, fucking all that. I was like, and it didn't go on for 5 minutes, man. It went on for a good half hour.
Wow.
Of terror. Like white knuckle.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So
they say, you know, like turbulence doesn't take down airplanes.
And I kept telling myself that because I'm a big fan of air disaster, that turbulence has never taken down an airplane. Except maybe one that the wing wasn't riveted on.
Except your airplane that you're
So
on.
yeah, I'm going to be the fucking one. Right? So I'm you know, we got the Wi-Fi going, right? So you can't send text messages, but I'm like using Facebook Messenger. Like telling my loved ones, yo, this plane is crazy.
You didn't text me?
Right? Well, you would have made it worse.
That's fucked up.
You would have made it worse.
No, I heard what you said. Telling my loved ones.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. All right.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I didn't want you to worry, man. Right. I know you're a big worrier. You're a worrier of people for people. So they're sending me back pictures of the storm.
You think I wouldn't care if you were texting me and you were like, "Yo, fucking, I'm on a plane and I might go down." You think I would like say something snarky back?
I wouldn't say that. I'd be like, yo, there's a lot of turbulence. And you probably would have responded, I hope it doesn't go down. I know you, man. You don't think you do that, but you do that. So anyway, listen. So they text me back a picture of the fucking storm. It was from the Gulf of Mexico to the Great Lakes. So I was like, oh, shit, we can't go around this thing. Like, we're going through this fucking
Why
thing.
can't you go over the top of it?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess you do actually go over the storms, but it still makes the air turbulent, right? Because
I don't know.
At all times, I could see the moon. The whole time, I was able to see the moon out the porthole or
The porthole of your airplane? Who designed this airplane? H.G. Wells?
Maybe that was the fucking problem. I was on a steampunk airplane.
No wonder there was so much turbulence.
The gears were going.
Somebody was pedaling it.
Yo, all right, so man, then it dies out for a second, man. Good 10 minutes, and then like it starts up again for like 15 minutes, and it's always like, please get back to your seats. Like it's like that frantic call to put your seatbelts on, right? I'm like, fuck.
Who's fucking getting out of their seats at that point?
Man, there were people trying to go to the bathroom. It was just like ridiculous. People
I gotta
were falling into like the aisles and the seats.
On a plane, adults turn into like little like babies. Oh my God. Like the second like the plane like takes off, like someone has to go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
and then it's just like a never-ending fucking parade of people going back and forth.
Yeah, I usually spend most of my time at the gate in the bathroom.
Yeah, like at the gate, fucking go to the bathroom, get the fuck on the plane. It's like a 4-hour flight, 5-hour flight. You don't need to go to the bathroom 4 times.
So I got worried. So like I had a window seat. So there was a girl sitting next to me, and I guess her boyfriend or husband or whatever sitting next to her on the aisle seat. I guess she was cute. I don't know.
Like you didn't fucking check it out.
As soon as I saw the size of that dude, I was like, I'm not checking out his girl.
Oh, really?
Man. He was a big dude.
So
right?
what, man? That hasn't stopped us in the past from popping off.
No, of course it hasn't. But he's working on a laptop the whole time. He looks like he's doing some sort of audio editing. Maybe he's a podcaster. Maybe he's a fellow podcaster. I don't know. But like,
maybe he's a UX designer.
Yeah, those fucking guys. Yeah. So 3 minutes into the turbulence, I saw homeboy shut his laptop and like grab his girlfriend's hand. And I'm like, she didn't go for his hand? I was like, yo, the big dude is scared. So now I'm like, man, this plane's scary. So we land safely, obviously. I'm here, right? Now I got to wait for my fucking luggage, right? Because I had to actually check it. It was a monster bag. And the plane was packed, and the carousels at JFK, they're fucking huge. So you can either be one of those people that goes right by the ramp where they come out. Like, everybody tries to gathers there. So, like, even if you see your bag, you got to fight through 10 rows of people. I ended up being one of those people near the ramp. Because I didn't worry, because my bag's always the last one, right? So the 6th bag out, right? I hear somebody go, oh, look at that. And I look up, it's my bag. busted open. It's coming down the horizontal to get onto the carousel with shit falling out of it. Yo, my shoes, my son. Yo, I sleep with a CPAP machine.
Is this your penis pump, sir?
Right? So I'm like, I hope nothing embarrassing pops out. Then like my hose, my CPAP machine pops out.
For your CPAP machine. Sure, that's what the hose is for. Go ahead.
It's sliding down and people are like, oh shit, like, excuse me, that's mine. Right? So now I can't pick the bag up because it'll fully open and everything will come out. So I have to like scoop it up. And it's a big bag, right? And it's over the ledge. The fucking conveyor belt's going. So I'm just trying to scoop up my thing, right? I get it. Now people are backing off, right?
Yeah.
But now a shoe
give this guy some room.
A shoe gets away from me. My belt gets away from me.
No one was stepping in to help?
People grabbed it further on down and
All
they
right.
passed it back. That was
That's
nice enough, right?
Yeah.
So now I get it on the floor.
Yeah.
Right? But now there's a crowd around waiting for their bags. So I have to say, excuse me while I kick my bag off to the side to fucking work on it.
In fairness, though, it is on a carousel, so shit will probably come back around.
It would have, but dude, embarrassing.
Oh my God.
Fucking, right? So now.
So what the fuck? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
They threw it. There was a big dent in the bag, and it fucking popped open. And they're fucking baggage handlers. You know,
Is any of it your fault? Did you overpack? Was the zipper all fucked up? Like, why? How did it pop open?
It was definitely packed probably more than it should have been, but it wasn't overpacked.
Okay. Did the zipper rip?
The zipper was broken.
Okay.
So I got the two zippers. One zipper was broken. The bag was dented. It was filthy. Like they dragged it behind the plane. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Well, maybe it was part of the turbulence when shit was like fucking, when shit was going back and forth.
I didn't even think about that. So now here it goes. Now I'm trying to get it closed.
Is it a hard
broken.
case or like
It's a semi-rigid kind of fucking case.
Okay.
So yeah, it did dent.
Okay.
Yeah, so now people are watching me try and stuff my shit in my bag as cool as possible, and I'm trying to zip it. So I'm trying to stuff my stuff into the bag without opening it because I don't want them to see all my shit. Right?
And it's already like overflowed when you fucking pack it nicely.
Yeah.
Now you're just trying to shove
just trying to
shit
get out
in there.
of embarrassment.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
right. Unbeknownst to me, I cut my hand open on the zipper, right?
So now you're bleeding.
So now I'm bleeding. People are looking at me. I look like some fucking idiot. I'm all stressed out from the turbulence still. I can't hear anything because my ears are all popped up. Man, some girl says to me, do you need help? I was like, no, I think I got it, but I might need you to sit on it.
Yeah.
So she's like, whatever you need. Right? And then she goes, oh, about that? You might want to go wash that out before you leave because I cut my hand open once on one of these carousels and I got a really bad infection. So now they notice I'm bleeding. So yeah, that was so I'm texting my ride. I'm like, I'll be there in a few. Sorry.
I can only imagine like the conversation in the car on the way home.
But I did learn the trick. You know, like you get departures and arrivals where you drop people off for departing planes and you pick people up on arriving planes.
I do know about that.
Yeah,
yes.
The trick is if you're arriving, you tell them to meet you at the departures. You take the escalator up. You go. There's not a single taxi in sight. Mm-hmm. It's empty. Mm-hmm. Where if you go at the arrivals, you're like you're playing that fucking fight for the taxi.
Sure.
So yeah, that was fuck that ride home, man. Yeah. But we got home 15 minutes faster because we picked up a good tailwind, according to the fucking captain.
Yeah, because you were in a fucking hurricane.
Holy shit.
That should kick you out.
Damn, when I looked up, man, to watch your shit rolling out of your bag, coming down separate from your bag.
It's not even watching your shit. It's like everyone else watching your shit. It's almost like if like your girl like starts throwing your shit out the window, you motherfucking piece of shit, blah, blah. And like everyone gathers in the neighborhood as like your shit's just being thrown about.
Yeah.
That's good story, Scott.
Yeah, it was yeah. I didn't even tell a lot of bad jokes. While I didn't deserve that shit to happen to me, man. I didn't.
I got to tell you this though, Scott.
Yeah.
In the past, you've complained that like your jokes don't always like fly like in public. So like when you see something and you say something that you think is clever and funny, and you say it loud enough for other people to hear, a lot of times you won't get a response. This was more like performance art, except you weren't like involved in it, but maybe subconsciously, you scrambling about, you cutting yourself, maybe all this, right, is your subconscious mind spurring this on in order to entertain those around you.
Maybe.
It's not the kind of response that you want
right
consciously, but subconsciously it's feeling like,
Yeah, it's not even like listen, it was such a miserable experience. Like people around like recognized that it was a miserable experience. Like when the one guy's like, "Oh, look at that bag." They were
empathizing.
They were
with
empathizing,
you.
but it was attention.
It was filling that hole in your
that
heart.
I needed. Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah. What the fuck?
See, that's the way to look at it.
Yo, I bought that bag off a coworker that wasn't as lucky to go to Las Vegas, and I swear he jinxed that shit.
He's probably been trying to get rid of that piece of shit luggage for like years now. You bought it off him. He's like fucking idiot.
It's fucking brand new, man. Still in a wrapper. Whatever.
But Vegas was pretty much work for you, yeah.
Too much work. I'm hoping the next time I go out, it'll be a lot less stressful. I know it'll be a lot less stressful. And I'll have some time to myself and actually be able to check out some Vegas shit.
Yeah. I didn't really have a lot of interesting stories. Not much has been going on, like, outside of, like, my home.
Well, what's going on inside your home, man? That's interesting.
Nothing really. Just, like, we like, remodeled the living room.
Nice.
So, like, all new furniture, like, new TV, painted the wall. Like, we painted one wall.
Well,
an accent wall.
Would you knock over an armored car or something? Or you skimming off the Patreon fucking money we're making?
Fucking I run the media and banking. Come on.
That's true.
What are we talking about?
Yeah. Give me that couch or I'm going to shoot off one of these space lasers.
Every year we get together at this time of year, right? The holiday season, by the way. Not Christmas time,
Jewish
the holiday
Christmas.
season. We get together and we distribute the fucking money that we made from banking and controlling the media. By the way,
so that's nice. It's no socialist.
I was thinking about this, Scott. Okay. Controlling the media, the narrative. The Jews control the media, right?
Really?
If the Jews control the media for propaganda purposes, they're not doing that great a job because
doing a good job,
people do not like the Jewish people. All right?
No.
So they are a failure at controlling the media.
Or this is a super double secret double cross.
And they're not really Jewish. They're pretending to be Jewish.
No, or they are Jewish, and somehow they're benefiting from the anti-Jewish rhetoric that they're allowing, that they're promoting themselves. Jewish anti-Semitism is an inside job.
So it's the Jews' fault, you're saying?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just asking questions.
You're just asking questions.
Oh, speaking about awesome Jews that control the media, Norman Lear died today.
Yeah. That guy made like every goddamn like television show of like the 50s, 60s, and 70s that you know of.
Crazy. Yeah. He's the guy that said, look, back in the day it was okay to make racist jokes. Not realizing that was the joke. So, like Archie Bunker and stuff. Like everybody, I know a lot of people that look back.
I know that you've looked at the demographics of our audience, and for the most part, people will know what you're talking about. But there are younger listeners here and there.
Yeah.
By the way, we are a top podcast in Kenya. I don't know if you are aware of this.
I haven't,
Not just still. We've been charting in Kenya.
Nice.
All right. So you got to explain like what the fuck you're talking about.
All right. So a lot of sitcoms from the 70s and early 80s were raunchy. They were raw. They made fun of race. They made race jokes. They made ethnic jokes, sex jokes. Gender jokes, not really sex jokes, because that was taboo.
They made sex jokes. Three's Company. The whole fucking every
whole
episode was a sex joke.
Yeah. It was like a mistake about
a misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding.
It was innuendo
sex,
that led to like a misunderstanding.
Innuendo. So Norman Lear wrote a lot of these shows, or created a lot of these shows. I'm sure he had a staff of writers, probably all Jewish, right? So these shows were pretty hard hitting. So a lot of people today, I find a lot of older, especially white people that I speak to, that look back at that as that was the good old days. Look, you could call somebody that, and like it's not a big deal. You could do that. It's not a big deal.
Look at Archie Bunker. He was like he told it like it was.
Yeah. But
not
Archie
realizing,
Bunker, he was the joke. Right. Norman Lear was pointing out that that's the joke.
Right, he's the ignorant one in the show.
And these people
like he's always learning the lesson.
Right, and they're referencing it like, oh, which was back in those days.
Right.
When people weren't so uptight, Russ.
People took like characters like Tony Soprano and like glorified them, you know?
Yeah. Like
no, the point is he's a piece of shit. That's the whole point.
They didn't fucking get it. Nobody fucking gets it, man.
like people that have like Scarface posters up in their house. You know what I mean? It's like, this is who you model yourself after? Like, this is the height of success for you.
Do you think if somebody like reached like even a fraction of like Scarface's success, that person would actually have a picture of Scarface on their wall?
Yes, I do, Scott.
Oh, no. You don't think anybody listening to this podcast?
No, probably nobody
Okay.
listening to this
right.
podcast.
Okay. Woo.
Take a sip of water on that one.
Take a break of water. Yeah. We did that because of Rusty motion that he might know somebody like that.
I might being the operative word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right. So, I mean, we could talk about a couple of things, though, like in the news if you want, before we get into the Bible.
Let's see. Norman Lear dead, Taylor Swift Person of the Year. What else could you possibly talk about?
A Utah therapist was arrested for allegedly abusing his patients in a sexual manner.
Okay. I mean, is he a Christian therapist? Like, is he a religious?
He was a gay conversion therapist.
Fuck off.
Yeah. So former Utah.
So he was definitely a religious nut then.
Yeah. Former Utah, because it's Utah, so you already know, like Mormon probably.
Time out. Can I stop you just for a second?
Sure.
I was watching some TV clip before you came over, and apparently, like, there was an accident on a school campus in Utah where a mother and child got trapped under a vehicle, and all the students ran over and they lifted the vehicle heroically and everything. And you know what stood out when they did the interview afterwards? They had all the kids like in the shot. How many Asian people were in the school?
Let me ask you this:
Listen. I'm just saying,
Asian or Native American?
It was a shitty quality video.
It's probably Native Americans.
All right, I'll have to, if I revisit that video, I'll have to check that out. I will have to check
Utah.
that out. Oh, Utes.
No.
Did you say Utes?
When I was in Salt Lake City, what I noticed a lot of things about Salt Lake City. It was fucking super weird. Okay, that's the first thing I noticed. I was driving in from Reno, and for the hour and a half leading into Salt Lake City, I really needed to piss. And I kept putting it off, thinking, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And finally, when I rolled into Salt Lake City, it was like DEFCON 1. Like, I needed to piss. Like, it was either like I was going to piss my pants or I needed to piss. Everything was fucking closed, bro. It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Everything was fucking closed. And then I realized it's Sunday. And it's Salt Lake City. And that's my first like introduction to how fucking weird it was. And when I say everything was closed, I mean everything was closed and there was no one on the streets. It was like a fucking nuclear fucking alert test where like everyone has to get into like a bunker. Yo, the streets were fucking empty. And I wound up pulling over in a neighborhood. Like, I pulled off, like, sort of like, like in Queens Cross Bay Boulevard. Like, if you pull off and there's, like, private houses, like, a block off, like, a major, like, I pulled off a block off of, like, a major thoroughfare into, like, a suburban neighborhood. I got out of my car and I pissed, like, on someone's lawn, just, like, right there standing on the curb. Because, like, that was it. That was, like, either in my car, in my pants, or fucking, like, there. And as I'm fucking urinating for like a minute and a half at least, still no one around, still no cars, nothing. But in my head, I'm like, this is it. I'm going to get arrested in Salt Lake City for fucking public like exposure, urination, whatever. That was my introduction to Salt Lake City. But here's the point. I noticed that as clean as the city is, Native Americans in Salt Lake City are like the underclass. Okay. Like there were a lot of like either homeless or vagabond, like vagrant, like Native Americans in Salt Lake City. And I thought that was pretty fucking sad. Okay.
So maybe they were not Asians. Maybe my racist white eyes couldn't tell the difference between Asians and natives.
I mean, Native Americans are from Asia.
It was a low quality like Zoom video that they were being interviewed on. It was very low quality.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe they weren't Asians. All right. I thought you were going to say, like, you decided to...
Do you think they got molested by this therapist?
I don't know, but I was thinking you were going to say you took the opportunity to dilute a little of the salt out of that lake with your urine. I thought you were going to pee right in that salt lake.
No. You know what was cool though? I drove through the salt flats.
You did?
Yeah, that was pretty fucking cool.
That sounds pretty cool.
No, I didn't drive on the salt flats, like you know, like when you see like those cars. No, I didn't do that. I like the highway goes through like the salt flats.
That's still pretty
so
cool.
like when you're looking, like you could see the salt flats, and I saw the fucking Salt Lake, and it was a color of water I'd never fucking like really seen. It was like this dark, like a darkish fucking blue. It was crazy.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
what did the therapist do?
So this former Utah therapist, Scott Owen, was arrested Wednesday in connection with accusations that he sexually abused patients during sessions. So, blah, blah, blah. He built a reputation over his 20-year career in Utah County as a specialist who could help gay men who were members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, so Mormons.
Yeah.
Several of the men who spoke to the Tribune said they began therapy with Owen at the recommendation of their bishop as they struggled with their sexuality. Some said their bishop used church funds to pay for sessions where Owen allegedly also touched them inappropriately. So it's like this whole fucking, like, the bishop is acting as a pimp.
Yeah, absolutely. Funneling like clients to this fucking dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a fucking machine, man.
And they're already gay, these guys.
Yeah, so
and who are they going to go to after this to complain? Like, they're not going to go to anyone.
Especially there, right? Like,
yeah, you get fucking shunned,
Yeah. Even the judge would be like, meet me in the back room. We'll take your head of this. And you know what? Then it leads to more touching,
it's
man.
Awful. This guy's a fucking predator.
Predators, man. And he's gay.
Well, but the headline is they did this all under the auspice of, like, religion. And he's gay. Do you think he's gay?
The therapist?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Why?
What are you doing? I'm assuming that he's touching them sexually.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so like, why would, if you're a man, why would you touch another man sexually unless you're gay?
That's, like, I don't know.
Right?
Like, I think the assumption is he's gay, right? But, like, maybe he's just a predator who likes to prey on men. Know what I mean?
He likes
like he's
easy,
gay.
vulnerable men.
If he has gay sex in his, like, real life, he's gay. But if he's just, this is how he gets off, does that mean that, you know what I mean? Like, does that mean he's gay?
I tried to explain that to somebody too, man. Something similar.
Like, if you were a raping serial killer and you were just, like, killing and raping women, is that because you're heterosexual, but you have no sex outside of that?
Good point. It's all about power and control.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But what were you explaining to someone?
I was telling someone, I was like, listen, man, if I like my girl to take a cucumber and ram it in and out of my butt, that doesn't make me gay. That just makes me enjoying my butt with cucumbers, man.
You're just having fun, man.
If I have a dude do it, that would make me gay.
100%. Well, I mean, it wouldn't even make you gay at this point. Like, who knows? I don't even know. It's a spectrum.
It's a spectrum. Yeah. That's why the flag is a rainbow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's all I have to say about that.
All right. You want to get into the Bible, sir?
It's got to be better than what we're talking about. It's got to be more.
It doesn't have to be. I got to tell you, sometimes it's not. Sometimes what we talk about is much more interesting than the Bible. But I'm going to say this, Scott. Can I say this?
You can say whatever.
Can I say this?
The mic is yours, man.
I'm going to say this. Well, it's ours. You know, it's not mine. It's ours. Just because I ignore you half the time. I mean, I still see this lump sitting in front of me. All right. This book that we're reading, Scott, okay? It is the cause of a lot of problems.
A lot of fucking
in
problems.
the world, all right? I'm just going to say that. Straight up. It might be controversial to say, but people find this book important enough to kill over it.
Yeah.
To torture over it.
Yeah.
To rape over it.
Yeah.
To justify injustices over it.
Yeah.
And as I'm reading it, I'm trying to see what message, what morality are you supposed to pick up from this?
Have we picked up any yet?
Yes, to kill, rape, fucking everything that
I mean,
people are doing in the name of God falls in line with everything that's being taught in the Bible.
I guess being more morally correct, it depends on your definition of moral, I guess, right? So what I consider morally correct is none of this stuff, but if anybody who's a believer in this Bible, this stuff is morally correct.
Yes.
So, fuck.
And unfortunately, the majority of people who are in charge of running things on this planet at least marginally believe in this. You know, they say they believe in it.
Yeah, like this fucking Speaker of the House we got going on now, too, right?
Oh, that guy's out of his mind.
That's another one. Yeah. Ron Reagan Jr., man. Got to join that Freedom from Religion Foundation.
Freedom from Religion Foundation. Yeah, go join it. Well, I don't know. Do you join it? I guess you can donate to it. Everything worth fucking having is always like, can you please give us some money because we don't have any money? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, nothing gets funded that really we fucking need.
No. Yeah, so you want to get into it? So it left off, David was dying, because I know we had it previously on, but David was dying. Some other dude pretended to say, I'm going to be king. He had a whole little ceremony that was brought to David. David was like, fuck no, Solomon's going to be the next king. Solomon
Impotent
stepped it
David.
up. Impotent David. Impotent, fragile, old David.
Yes.
Impotent's an insulting word.
Why?
I don't know. It's got bad
what's
overtones to it.
All right, well, what's the word?
Can't get it up.
Well, that's what. Right. He can't do that, but what would you call
Sponge
him?
dick.
Oh, that's better.
Flaccid hose man. All right, we'll go with impotent. He appoints Solomon. Solomon does take his place at the throne, or he's going to, right?
I just realized this is like wise old King Solomon.
Who the fuck is that?
You never heard wise old King Solomon?
No.
Okay.
I think sure it's him.
I think he's the dude. You know, it's like they use this fucking trope in like a whole bunch of shit. It's like, oh, I love my child so much. No, he's my son. No, he's my son. I know what we will do. We will cut him in half, and you will have one half, and you will have the other half. And then one woman's like, okay. And then the other woman's like, no, I want him to live so she can have him. I won't contest it. And then he's like, you must be the real mother then. Like, you never heard that fucking whole, like, trope thing?
I don't think I have.
That's, like, King Solomon, I think.
And the guy with the deep voice is King Solomon?
I don't know.
Or is one of the women King Solomon?
So I'm
or is
making...
the kid King Solomon? Who the fuck is King Solomon?
King Solomon, wise old King Solomon. Like, that's an example of why he's so wise. Because he could figure out, like, who the mom was.
Or he knew to throw down that test to see. Because would he be considered wise old King Solomon if they actually decided to chainsaw the kid in half?
I think he really wanted to chainsaw the kid in half. I think he was secretly like, fuck.
Yeah.
Let's not forget David brought a whole bunch of fucking foreskins to his father-in-law. Remember that one? When he went out and fucking turned up on the Philistines and brought a whole shit ton of foreskins.
Including some giant foreskins. You know how they got the two-man saws cutting down the tree?
He would like talk about the uncircumcised.
Yeah, let's get into it, man. So
All
Solomon's
right.
going to be the next guy. So it starts with what do we have?
1 Kings 2, 1 Kings 2.
1 Kings 2.
David's instruction to Solomon.
All right.
When David's time to die drew near, he charged his son Solomon, saying, I am about to go the way of all the earth. Be strong, be courageous, and keep the charge of the Lord your God, walking in his ways and keeping his statutes, his commandments, his ordinances, and his testimonies, as it is written in the law of Moses, so that you may prosper in all that you do and wherever you turn. By the way, Yahweh's already decided that fucking David and like all his like generations are like gonna be fucked. Remember? Because like David kept like doing his own shit, pissing Yahweh off, and then Yahweh has like a fucking vendetta against him now.
Okay. So he's not the chosen line?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So I don't know how well I don't know how well Solomon's going to do.
Yeah,
maybe this isn't wise old King Solomon. I don't know.
Or maybe he's wise because he was able to outsmart Yahweh and remove that curse from his family line.
And you think they would include that in this book, like someone outsmarting Yahweh? Because Yahweh seems to be like the main character.
yeah,
And I mean that in like the social media way.
I got you.
Then the Lord will establish his word that he spoke concerning me. If your heirs take heed to their way, to walk before me in faithfulness with all their heart and with all their soul, there shall not fail you as a successor on the throne of Israel. All right, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe like there was another or maybe he's lying. I don't know. He could be lying. A lot of narrative gets skipped over in this book, you know?
But this is just David speaking, though. This isn't Yahweh saying it.
Yeah, this is David.
So David could just be talking shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Seriously. Yeah.
So I don't remember this happening. The last I remember, God was like, yo, you're a piece of shit fuck up, and you're going to fail, and your progeny's going to fail.
And David's saying no. No, if you do it right, fucking
I think he's lying to Solomon right now.
I'll pick it up now at 1 King 5. Quote like I'm reading an article.
1 King 2.
1 King
2.
2. Oh,
verse 5.
I will figure that out eventually by the end of this.
First Kings is the book.
Yeah.
2 is the chapter. 5 is the verse.
Moreover, you know also what Joab, son of Jeruiah, did to me, how he dealt with the 2 commanders of the armies of Israel, Abner, son of Ner, and Amasa, son of Jether, whom he murdered, retaliating in time of peace for blood that had been shed in war, and putting innocent blood on the belt around my waist and on the sandals on my feet.
Not for nothing. But David didn't want this fucking Joab to go and murder like that fucking general that he murdered. I don't know if you remember that or not.
Vaguely, yeah.
Okay. So he did. Joab went and fucking this general came to David and was like, yo, we're gonna like unite, fucking we don't want no trouble. And they was like, all right, cool. But this Joab guy was like, nah, fucking, you can't trust that motherfucker. And they was like, nah, let's see how this plays out.
Yeah.
And then Joab was like, fuck that. And he followed him in the fucking desert. And then Zeruiah was like, oh, why you following me? Stop following me. And Joab was like, fuck you, son, slash. And he fucking shanked him in the fucking desert, right? And then David found out, right? And now he's telling his son, this fucking piece of shit, Joab did this. But David didn't fire Joab. David kept Joab around at the same position, didn't demote him. You know what I mean? So, like, on the outside, the words he's saying are like, this guy, disobeyed me. But through his actions, Joab was still his right-hand man.
Oh.
He's a hypocrite.
Yeah. But, and let's pick it up. Verse 6. Act, therefore, according to your wisdom, but do not let his gray head go down to Sheol in peace.
Sheol.
So is he saying, like, go fuck with Joab now? Even though he didn't fuck with Joab when he had the chance? He wants Solomon to do the tough guy work?
Oh, is that what he's saying? He's like, yo, this Joab guy, he shouldn't be around.
Deal loyally, however, with the sons of Barzillai, the Gileadite, and let them be among those who eat at your table, for which such loyalty they met me when I fled from your brother Absalom.
So he's telling him, yo, fuck this Israelite guy, but fucking act nice to this fucking Philistine piece of shit.
Oh, Gileadite.
That's a Philistine.
Well, evidence to that.
It's not an Israelite.
All right.
It's someone from other tribes.
Yeah, I definitely haven't heard that as one of the 12 tribes. That's definitely not one of them.
It's a Canaanite. My bad. I kept saying Philistine. It's a Canaanite.
There is also with you Shammai, son of Jerah, a Benjaminite from Bahurim.
All right, Benjaminites are cool.
We like them. Who cursed me with a terrible curse on the day when I went to
That's not good.
Wow, we jumped the gun 3 words too early.
Well, no, it's because this is all showing what a piece of shit David is. Israel hates him.
Yeah. But when he came down to meet me at the Jordan, I swore to him by the Lord, I will not put you to death with the sword. Therefore, do not hold him guiltless.
That's why I poisoned him.
You are a wise man. You will know what you ought to do to him, and you must bring his gray head down with blood to Sheol.
So wait a second.
Again,
This is a loophole.
He's asking Solomon to do some shit he wouldn't do himself.
It's a loophole because he promised this guy, I promise I won't fucking kill you. But now he's telling his son, like, but you should fucking do it totally.
Yeah, I'm not going to kill you. Right, okay. It's water time.
He is really a hypocrite, and he doesn't seem like a great leader. He seems like he's straight off the path of Yahweh.
So he kept his promise, just kind of, twisted it, and like you said,
No, it was a promise made in bad faith. He never intended to keep his promise. He always intended to look for a loophole to get out of it.
Or is it possible as he got older, like when you get into a fight with someone, even not even a physical fight, an argument, and 10 years later, you're like, I should have said this.
Oh,
it just
100,
eats at you
sure.
for years and years. So maybe he did intend to keep it at the time, and then as he got older and he thought more about it. I don't know. Who knows?
Right. Listen,
who can tell?
It's all a possibility. It's all a possibility.
Yeah.
But the biggest possibility is that none of this shit happen.
That's true, too.
That's the biggest fucking probability, actually. Oh, did you hear there's 2 new papers that claim to merge relativity with quantum theory?
I did not hear that.
Yeah, because it's all about, like, gravity, and, like, gravity isn't quantum, but now, like, this paper is saying that gravity is quantum. So,
well, gravity's like the big mystery, right? That's like the biggest mystery.
Well, what's the mystery? I don't understand. It's fucking gravity is the curvature of space caused by fucking objects sitting in it, and its effect on fucking other objects that interact with that fucking curvature. That's like gravity.
Why do scientists even go to work when you have all the answers?
That's what I'm saying, man. Because they're like UX designers. They need to fucking justify like getting fucking grants.
My father says that shit all the time. Anytime I mention anything scientific or NASA, he's just like, they're just trying to get the next grant, so they're just making shit up. Get a real job.
It's funny because he worked his entire life in a career that would not have existed if science hadn't, found the electron and fucking. It's hilarious.
Yeah. I'll let you read the next big set, man.
So, 1 Kings chapter 2, verse 13.
No, 10.
Oh, we're on 10?
You skip it. Man, I'm giving you the
scrolling,
big one, man.
I'm scrolling down, bro.
You would have changed history by leaving this paragraph out.
Oh, you're going to let me read this?
Yes. Well, now I'm second-guessing myself.
Damn.
I'm not going to kill you.
You blew it. All right.
Yeah.
1 Kings 2, verse 10. Death of David. Are you letting me read this because I'm a Jew? Is that why you're letting me read this? Because this is like the king of my people?
No, I didn't.
You didn't even think of that.
I didn't think of that, man.
All right.
I wanted to give you like the big act that you deserve, man.
All right, cool. All right. That I deserve. That I've earned.
You've done the work, man. You've earned it.
All right. I appreciate that.
And at the moment of truth, you got people like, why'd Scott promote him? I don't know.
All right. Shh. You're stepping on my big moment now.
Sorry.
Don't even say sorry. Always got to have the last word.
I'll look at my phone.
See, just look. Dude, don't say.
All
right. Death of David. Then David slept with his ancestors and was buried in the city of David. That's it? He slept with his ancestors. So he talked to his son, and then like right there, he slept. He just like went down on the floor.
He went peacefully, man.
Then David slept with his ancestors and was buried in the city of David. The time that David reigned over Israel was 40 years. He reigned 7 years in Hebron and 33 years in Jerusalem. So Solomon sat on the throne of his father David, and his kingdom was firmly established. What do we feel about the rule of David?
I feel like I'm not a fan of David. I've said that for a long time. Fuck David. Fuck that stupid statue.
He was like a one-hit wonder, right?
Yeah.
He had like that great moment, but then it was like all downhill from there.
He was a bad leader, made bad decisions, just got taken advantage of. Other dudes were claiming to be king.
Do you think he turned against Israel because the king of Israel was constantly trying to kill him, though?
I mean, that would do it for me.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, it's very nuanced. We don't, we keep peeling back the layers. But overall, I'm not a fan of David.
But maybe like he should have had that relationship with the son. And then the fucking king of Israel would, you know what I mean? It's like you don't shit where you eat.
You talking about him and Jonathan?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's complicated. Do you think he's worse than Moses? Because you didn't like Moses.
I was actually thinking, when he said his reign was 40 years, he must have been like, damn, I was the king for a long time. 40 years is a long fucking job.
Yeah.
Just think, Moses was wandering around the desert for the same amount of time I was king.
Yeah. By the way, I don't know if it was the desert. Let's call it the wilderness, because it doesn't seem like the desert,
Yeah.
It was like a wilderness.
Yeah, all the trees looked alike, so you got lost a lot. Yeah. It's like the Blair Witch. Maybe the Blair Witch was fucking.
I don't know if
Moses.
it was like a forest. I'm thinking more like, I don't know.
You think it was the Blair Witch fucking with Moses, making him go in circles? And they kept coming back to the same spot.
You're asking me if I think Moses,
you know what,
and the Israelites were in fucking that land for 40 years because of the Blair Witch?
I think that was one of our first, like, maybe Yahweh was the Blair Witch. I feel like the Blair Witch is on that page.
All right.
I might be just rehashing fucking old jokes, man.
Listen
like
to
the
this.
Blair Witch would make you do. Makes you come back.
You
circle.
tell me if you believe this.
All right.
The speed of light, if you measure it in meters per hour, it's the exact same number as the coordinates to the Giza pyramid. What do you think about that, Scott?
Is that true?
Basically.
Well, I think that cannot be a coincidence, man.
Okay.
We had to have had help.
Because the Egyptians had, like, the measurement of meters back then, of course, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, isn't that the crazy part?
Or the aliens that came down, fucking, they knew that we were going to invent the measurement of meters, right?
Maybe.
Okay.
Oh.
Just a theory that I heard.
Yeah.
Just
From
a
who?
theory. Listen,
on the train going to work?
I'm just asking questions, Scott.
1 Kings 2:13.
Ooh,
Solomon
nice. Good job.
consolidates his reign.
Consolidates.
When
the reigning heavyweight king of Israel.
Then Adoniah, who repeatedly I kept saying, Adonijah, because I mentioned him in the previously on, I was practicing, and then Rusty's like, it's Adoniah. Then Adoniah, son of Haggith, came to Bathsheba, Solomon's mother. I'm sorry, that cadence was just all wrong. Then Adoniah, son of Haggith, came to Bathsheba, Solomon's mother. She asked, do you come peaceably? He said, peaceably. Then he said, may I have a word with you? She said, go on. He said,
what terrible dialogue.
you know that the kingdom was mine, and that all Israel expected me to reign. However, the kingdom has turned about and become my brother's, for it was his from the Lord. And now I have one request to make of you. Do not refuse me. She said to him, go on. He said, please ask King Solomon, he will not refuse you, to give me Abishag the Shunammite as my wife. Bathsheba said, very well, I will speak to the king on your behalf. All right, so he wants Abishag.
That's a horny fucking son to
He wants
go to his
Abishag.
mom.
Wait a minute. Was Abishag the one that was sleeping with David to keep him warm?
I don't remember. Maybe.
Abishag. Maybe she was the beautiful, warm virgin, I think.
It's possible.
And it's very possible that I'm completely wrong. But let's go with that. So he set this whole thing up. He wanted Abishag.
It is. You're right. I'm looking at it right now.
Okay. So he wanted Abishag.
She's the young virgin that we talked about in the previously on.
So he pretended to be king, knowing that he'd be thrown out and his brother would be king. Mm-hmm. And now he's like, well, I want a consolation prize of that beautiful, warm virgin that just happens to be here because I sent her to David. He was playing a long game just for Abishag. Dangerous game. Dangerous fucking game. He could have gotten killed for what he did. And David wouldn't have been wrong.
You know what the most dangerous game is?
What's that?
Humans.
So Bathsheba went to King Solomon.
It's the most dangerous game.
Oh.
Come on, man.
That's another thing, man.
Oh, don't act like you've never done it.
Well, in paintball scenarios. and
paintball, sure. That's what you call
dart guns back in the day before that.
Okay. Listen, let's not talk about your military service, all right?
Yeah, okay, let's not do that.
Back in Panama.
So Bathsheba went to King Solomon to speak to him on behalf of Adoniah.
Wait, where are we?
19.
Oh, shit. I'm like on fucking 10.
That's when King David died, man. Because
It's
you
because I
sold
went
back,
back
for Abishag. Yeah.
Go ahead. So Bathsheba went to King Solomon.
Yeah. The king rose to meet her and bowed down to her. That's his mom, so I got it. Then he sat on his throne and had a throne brought for the king's mother, and she sat on his right.
Fucking mama's
Nice.
boy.
Chop, chop, get her a throne.
Oh, so what? So like she's fucking ruling the kingdom now?
Behind every good man is
His mom?
his mom, I guess. Well, your mom.
She's like,
And then she said, I have one small request to make of you. Do not refuse me. And the king said to her, make your request, my mother, for I will not refuse you. She said, let Abishag the Shunammite be given to your brother Adoniah as his wife. King Solomon answered his mother, and why do you ask Abishag the Shunammite for Adoniah? Ask for him the kingdom as well.
oh.
All right. For he is my elder brother, and the priest Athar and Joab, son of Jeroboam, are on his side. Then King Solomon swore by the Lord, so may God do to me, and more also, for Adoniah has devised this scheme at the risk of his life.
Whoa. I'm sorry. Read it again from 22.
King Solomon answered his mother, and why do you ask Abishag the Shunammite for Adoniah? Ask for him the kingdom as well.
Fucking bitch. Go ahead.
For he is my elder brother, and the priest Abiathar and Joab, son of Zeruiah, are on his side.
All right, so he's already been poisoned against Joab by fucking David. Right? All right, go ahead.
Nothing about Abiathar from David, though. He didn't give any parting words for him. But then King Solomon swore by the Lord, so may God do to me, and more also, for Adoniah has devised this scheme at the risk of his life.
So may God do to me. What does that mean?
I don't know. I guess he's going to reveal.
Is he like, by the power of Greystone, sure. I am Solomon?
It's Gray Skull, man.
Whatever the fuck it is, man. I'm almost glad I got it wrong. It's like that Psy Snoodle. Or Snai, whatever the fuck.
Sigh, you're right.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, therefore, as the Lord lives, who has established me and placed me on the throne of my father David, and who has made me a house as he promised, today Adoniah shall be put to death. So King Solomon sent Benaiah, son of Jehoiada. He struck him down, and he died.
There you go.
So he recognized we were right. Well, I was right. You just went along with it. That was the long game just to get the warm virgin. And Solomon saw right through this. Devised this scheme at the risk of his life. Yo, he put his brother to death, man. He didn't even do it, man. He sent his dude to do it.
Why did he have to go through this whole ruse? He's like the king's son. He can't get some like fucking young like virgin. Like he's the king's son.
No, king's brother. He's the ex-king.
Adoniah?
Isn't Adoniah and Solomon brothers?
No, because Adoniah went to his mom, who's also the fucking mom of fucking Solomon.
I thought the mom...
Adoniah just went to his mom.
Who was also Solomon's mom.
Yeah.
So they're brothers.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I said.
Oh, I tell
you said uncle. You said the word brother. You said the word brother. I thought you meant of David.
No, I meant...
No, these two. Because I was talking about David, and you were like, it's his brother.
We're on the same page. We're on the same page, man. All right. So he killed his own brother. At least half-brother, right?
Yeah. No, it seems like they're brothers.
So why was... because maybe... But
he's David's son. And what? Why would one of David's concubines be fucking giving birth to other men's kids? They're David's.
Wait a minute. Doesn't he say that Adoniah is the older brother?
Yes.
So why wouldn't he be the rightful heir to the throne?
Because that's not how it works. That's not who Yahweh chose. Yahweh fucking chooses.
I'm thinking along Game of Thrones lines, not fucking
correct
biblical lines.
It's not necessarily through like fucking lineage. It's who fucking is, you know. Because who did David come from? David was just like some peasant fucking kid, you know.
Fair enough. You pick it up at 26, man. Got pondering to do over here.
1 Kings 2, verse 26. The king said to the priest Abiathar, "Go to Anathoth, to your estate, for you deserve death." And your estate is such a piece of shit, fucking,
It's worse than death.
Yeah.
Take him to Detroit.
Yeah, how bad is Ah! But I will not at this time put you to death, because you carried the ark of the Lord God before my father David, and because you shared in all the hardships my father endured. That's pretty heavy duty, man. This guy fucking carried the ark.
Yeah, so you know what? You see, you can build up a little cred. You fucked up. Everybody knows you fucked up, but you did good, so we're going to
Nah. You know what's going on here? This guy carried the ark. He's all fucking irradiated. He's probably glowing from...
he's got way too much
And King
plus.
Solomon is wise, right? So he's like, you know what, bro? I'm going to send you away to your estate.
Yeah.
Go far away.
And maybe he's going to get everybody over there sick, and he's using them as like a fucking biological weapon.
There you go. So Solomon banished Abiathar from being priest to the Lord,
Fuck out of here.
thus fulfilling the word of the Lord that he had spoken concerning the house of Eli in Shiloh. When the news came to Joab, for Joab had supported Adoniah, though he had not supported Absalom, Joab fled to the tent of the Lord and grasped the horns of the altar. When it was told King Solomon, "Joab has fled to the tent of the Lord and is now beside the altar," Solomon sent Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, saying, "Go strike him down." So Benaiah came to the tent of the Lord and said to him, "The king commands, come out." But he said, "No, I will die here." Then Benaiah brought the king word again, saying, "Thus said Joab, and thus he answered me." The king replied to him, "Do as he has said. Strike him down and bury him, and thus take away from me and from my father's house the guilt for the blood that Joab shed without cause. The Lord will bring back his bloody deeds on his own head, because without the knowledge of my father David, he attacked and killed with the sword 2 men more righteous and better than he, Abner, son of Ner, commander of the army of Israel, and Amasa, son of Jether, commander of the army of Judah. So shall their blood come back on the head of Joab and on the head of his descendants forever. But to David and to his descendants and to his house and to his throne there shall be peace from the Lord forevermore." How convenient. Then Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, went up and struck him down and killed him. And he was buried at his own house near the wilderness. The king put Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, over the army in his place. And the king put the priest Zadok in the place of Abiathar. So it's a new administration, man.
Yeah, and they are cleaning house.
Yeah, they don't get to retire back in the day, go work for like a think tank or some lobbying group. They get fucking either exiled or fucking get their fucking throats slit.
So did you see Donald Trump was recently asked by Hannity in an interview?
Speaking of fucking overthrowing.
He was talking about, people are concerned that you'll become like a dictator, like as a president. And he goes, "No, I won't, except for day one." And he said it twice during the interview. Like, day one,
right,
I'm basically going to go after all my enemies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is Donald Trump cleaning house.
Okay. Again, I can't stress this enough. By the letter of the law, based on all of the recordings they have, based on all the shit that was said in private, like the fucking planning that took place, the meetings that took place, the phone calls that occurred, like by all fucking accounts, he's a treasonous criminal.
Yeah, he's garbage.
He committed treason.
Yeah.
He decided to overthrow an election that was held legally. There was no sign of any fucking issues, okay? He knew what he was told it, and he still plotted ways to fucking overturn what he knew was a fair fucking election. That's treason, all right?
Yeah.
And that's the end of it.
That is the end of it. And listen, I'm not even talking about what a piece of shit he is. Like, dude, like if he was anybody but Trump, all these people that are up his ass loving him would be calling for his death. If it was anybody but Trump.
It's a cult of personality.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Crazy.
So he was on Hannity, and he basically was like, "I'm going to be a dictator from like day one."
Only on day one.
Oh.
Only on day
I'll
one.
take care of everything on day one.
Because he took care of all of his shit in the
All
4 years
family
he
business,
was president. And I'm just wondering, if you could be dictator on day one, that's probably the worst day to be dictator. Because you're never giving that shit up. Because that's got to feel pretty good. Like you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Right.
I mean, he has self-control and everything, and he won't abuse his powers. He'll clean the swamp out the way he
100%.
needs to. He'll send Benaiah, he'll send fucking Jules and fucking... What the hell was the other guy's
Run
name?
the Jules?
No, Jules from Pulp Fiction. This is like Jules coming down. Like when this guy shows up at your house, you're getting dead. This is Jules and Vince wrapped in one. Yeah. Then the king sent and summoned.
Out of like nowhere, I'm supposed to know.
I don't know. In my head, it was all fleshed out. Then the king sent and summoned Shammai and said to him, "Build yourself a house in Jerusalem and live there, and do not go out from there to any place whatever. For on the day you go out and cross the Wadi Kidron, know for certain that you shall die. Your blood shall be on your own head." And Shammai said to the king, "The sentence is fair. As my lord the king has said, so will your servant do." So Shammai lived in Jerusalem many days. Right. So again, Pulp Fiction. This is Bruce Willis going to Ving Rhames. So what now? When you get gone, you stay gone. Yeah. You lost all your LA privileges. Right. But it happened at the end of Liberty Bibbity. But it happened at the end of 3 years that two of Shammai's slaves ran away to King Achish, son of Makkah of Gath. When it was told Shammai...
I'm sorry, hold on.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Slow down
King
a little.
Achish.
Especially when you're reading these names. Like, you rapid fire through it. But you got to give my brain an opportunity to, like, recall, like, these names and, like, where have I heard them, all right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. Let's start over, man. 39. But it happened at the end of 3 years that two of Shammai's slaves ran away to King Achish, son of Makkah of Gath.
All right, so this guy that was told that was just banished and told you got to get the fuck out of town.
Yeah.
Two of his slaves run away and go to King Achish.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is King Achish?
I feel like we've seen that guy's name before.
No, 100% we have.
I feel like he died a long time ago. I feel like somebody killed him. Like somebody had to kill him.
Oh, he's like a Canaanite. He probably fucking was like an ally of David.
Okay, maybe.
So that makes sense. Yeah. Or maybe, you know what? It doesn't make sense.
People, smash those keys, man. Put it in the comments.
Yeah. They don't fucking know, man.
When it was told Shammai, "Your slaves are in Gath," Shammai arose and saddled a donkey and went to Achish in Gath to search for his slaves.
Oh, I see. So maybe he's going to cross over into like a territory that he's not allowed to.
Fucking move, man.
The narrative is fucking stupid so far. Go ahead.
Shammai went and brought his slaves from Gath. All right, so he caught the runaways. When Solomon was told that Shammai had gone from Jerusalem to Gath and returned, the king sent and summoned Shammai and said to him, "Did I not make you swear by the Lord and solemnly adjure you, saying, know for certain that on the day you go out and go to any place whatever, you shall die? And you said to me, the sentence is fair, I accept. Why then have you not kept your oath to the Lord and the commandment with which I charged you?" The king also said to Shammai, "You know in your own heart all the evil that you did to my father David. So the Lord will bring back your evil on your own head. But King Solomon shall be blessed, and the throne of David shall be established before the Lord forever." Then the king commanded Vincent Jules, son of Jehoiada, and he went out and struck him down, and he died. So the kingdom was established in the hand of Solomon. He's pretty much taken care of all the enemies we know about now. Shammai fucked around and found out, huh?
I mean, he was like, fuck, man.
Yo, my slaves, man. Come on.
You think someone who had slaves could, like, hire someone to go and get the slaves, or, like, get another slave to go and get the slaves? Or
I question, well, I don't know, like, exactly what the slave arrangement was back in the day. Mm-hmm. Like, did slaves often run away, or did slaves feel like they belonged there? Like, were they kept by force? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I feel like, just based on some of the stuff we've read, mm-hmm. that it was almost like, listen, I'm not downplaying that they were slaves, mm-hmm. but it was almost like they accepted the fact that this was their lot in life, and this is, what they did.
Slavery was basically like you had like room and board. It wasn't like slavery.
American slaves.
It wasn't cattle slavery like we practiced in America, right?
Right.
It wasn't we, it was them. My family was in the Russia, Soviet Union, Ukraine, fucking that whole place.
Yeah, doing all this weird shit over there.
We were getting fucking treated like shit.
So I wonder when they found these 2 slaves in Gath that they were exercising some of the skills that they learned as slaves to better themselves in Gath while they were there.
But they went to that king, so they probably turned themselves over as slaves to the king of Gath.
No, I think they were like, "Hey, look at the woodworking skills I got from being a slave."
You think they just became like capitalists, like entrepreneurs?
Yeah.
They opened up like a little shop.
Yeah. All right.
It said "ye old" with a E at the end of old. Ye old apothecary.
Yeah. Apothecary. That's a good word. More pharmacies should use that.
There's actually an apothecary, not far. Yeah. And I was talking with Amy about an apothecary today in Manhattan. Yeah. It's on Instacart now, but anyway. I think we've given the mongrels who listen to us enough for now. I think they can suck in what little we give them now. Like every once in a while, we'll throw them like a fucking... like a fucking piece of meat on a bone that's like left, like let them fucking scramble over it, the fucking mongrels. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, they're mongrels.
It's funny watching Scott get uncomfortable when I fucking rip into the audience.
All 6 of these listeners are going to be really mad.
He thinks it's fucking funny, but he's like, come on, man,
come on, man.
Come on,
stop.
Come on.
All right, good, man.
So... I don't want to make any promises. Obviously we'll record as many episodes in the coming month as we can. But again, it's Christmas time and it's going to be hard to
You know what?
Maybe you won't. I don't know. Maybe you won't. Maybe I'm fucking overplaying it.
Yeah, you just gotta get motivated, man. Just gotta get motivated. Come more often, when we can. We gotta fit it in, man. Gotta come more over, yeah.
But it's not just that. It's also you want to put together a good show. And what I have found is if the frequency is too soon from the last fucking broadcast, we run out of things to talk about. We just get tired of each other. There's there's a balance that needs to be maintained.
What you're concerned about is your podcast refractory period, right?
What's refractory?
That's I probably mispronounced that. That's the period. That's the rest period between erections, from orgasm to being able to get an erection again. That period.
Oh, okay.
That's a refractory period.
100%. Yes, 100%. I have now shot my load, and it takes it takes a little bit of time. You say 5 minutes, but it's really 2 hours.
Then you fake a phone call. Honey, I just got to take care of this really important email real quick. Then you're snoozing.
All right, so
we'll keep everybody updated, and we'll keep our Patreons.
Will we keep everybody? How will we keep
our
people
Patreons
updated?
Patreons will have better updates.
Will
on
they?
The Patreon. Man, I'm just trying to sell the Patreon thing, man.
All right,
you're not working with me, man.
All right, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Peace.
All right.